Well, I'm not friends with him. I've met him at a party. And I think the most interesting thing he told me was that his opponent in this fight tomorrow, Fury, his parents think, his family thinks he's not a real man because his father and his grandfather fought bare knuckle boxing, and because he uses gloves, he's not as much of a boxer as his... but he might just have been, you know, trying to raise the rivalry.
Are you interested in boxing?
Well, I boxed when I was between 4 and 8 years old. I remember my gloves were about as big as my head. But I remember the most useful thing I got out of boxing was once I was mad at someone and I knocked him out. But I was 8. After that, I decided to be more peaceful.
Was you successful?
Well, actually, what actually happened was I'd learned the left hook, and I left hooked my friend, and he spun around and grabbed a grown-up. I've not been watching a lot of boxing recently. I don't have a television. I don't really watch sports. I love playing sports. For me, watching sports is only good to learn how to do things, and I don't box anymore, so I don't really watch.
But are you going to watch?
Of course.
And when and where?
Well, presumably somewhere in Moscow, because I'll still be here. With you, maybe.
Why not?
Of being a sportsman. Well, I think the most horrible thing, I know it's much more exciting to have no headgear, but I think the most horrible thing about being a boxer is, at least, is what happened to Muhammad Ali. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, it's a lot more exciting to see real, boxing without headgear, but I think, maybe 20, 40, 30, 10 years from now, it might kind of end up, people might decide it's, the injuries are too problematic.
Okay.
But but having said that, I think that boxing is the purest sport. It's the most emotionally engaging sport to watch because there's nothing. They're not fancy rules. There's just competition between two people who really, really, really want to win. And it's not like other sports who have a game, once a week or twice a week or 3 times a week. You have a match once every, separated by a long time.
It's a very interesting opinion because the last time. Such kind of sport like K1.
I mean, I can see why it would be because that's an even purer form of fighting. But I was just comparing it to, say, tennis or ski jumping. It's sports like that, just one man against one man. I mean, you can't have a more.
Who's the best boxer in our Klitschko's?
I don't have an opinion. I'm sorry.
Maybe in history.
In history, Jack Dempsey.
The last one, who will win?
Who will win tomorrow?
Yeah.
Well, I think Fury is tall and he's bigger, but he's more awkward. And I think, to be honest, I think if one of them has the history of biting someone, that means he really, really wants to win. And there's something about passion and really wanting to win. And I think he's just he's more, I don't know, I think being compact is more useful and hard is more useful than having a long arm. So I'm,
Thanks a lot.